Alright, hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to play a dual commentary match against the Croatian Grandmaster Ante Brkić, who is currently Croatian number 2. He used to be a top 100 player, and now he isn't, but he's a really strong player. Recently Ante started his YouTube journey, so this match is intended that we both as a collaboration. He will put his commentary on his channel, which is in Croatian. There in the video description is a link to his channel, and guys, do us a favor and give a big subscribe to Ante, follow his channel. Even if it's in Croatian, it will mean a lot. And besides, you do have YouTube titles in English, which in every single one of his videos. Okay, Ante accepted the challenge and we are off. Okay, he's going e4. The first game, you know what I'm going to play against him. The filler there, e5. We're going to play, I'm not sure, the video is going to be like 1 hour long or so. We're going to play a couple of games. Ante is probably the favorite in this match, or okay, I'm not sure in blitz he's the favorite, but we're probably evenly matched. Okay, he goes h3. I will follow the line from the course with b5 for now. He goes a3. In this one, what was I supposed to do in this one? Yeah, in this one I was supposed to go h5, and now knight g1 is the trendy idea with knight f3. Also, he can okay, of course Ante knows this. This is going to be a tough match, I can already see. Knight g1, I will go knight d7. Your idea is to develop with bishop e7, go a5, and so on. We're playing 3+2 so that there is increment. Castles, should I go a5 or castle immediately? Okay, I'll castle first. I'll have to do it sooner or later. Cannot really do without castles. And now Black is claiming that white lost some time with knight g1, knight f3, but my opponent is claiming that this h5 is just going to be a problem in the future for me. And of course, it's a big strategical fight ahead of us. Okay, is bishop h5 a threat? Probably it is, because knight h5, queen h5 I cannot take. Or maybe he needs to take here first, otherwise I would have 6 d4. So maybe this is a threat. Takes bishop h5. I mean, I don't really want to go g6, it weakens more squares. Maybe I should, because what else can I do? I need to protect the pawn. Can go h4, but then, I don't know. The knight f3 back, it's always hanging, then I'll have to move the knight. Maybe for that reason I was supposed to include a5 to threaten b4 at some point. Okay. He plays a very typical standard idea, bishop e3. Now I think it's time for this a5 b4 idea. Very often in the filler they go b4 themselves. And then there's no more b4, which has, of course, its merits. It also has a downside that this c4 square is going to be available for my knight, but this bishop covers it nicely. So I'm pretty sure b4 is the right move here. Let's see what Ante does. Could take rook a1, queen a1. Could go some knight g4 there, but it's probably not very good. I mean, I'm not sure that I should take also and release the tension here, but I need to find some good move after b4, which I have no idea what it could be. Because after b4 and there's no more this idea, then he can maybe go just queen d2, f4 and start attacking. His idea is to try to attack here, because my king is relatively exposed. Okay, he goes f4 immediately, which is also fine, probably. But I would prefer, if I was white, I would prefer not to allow this. Now, there are these known ideas. Okay, if b4, can he take here? Take. Oof. Some sharpness. Alternative is to take here, then go b4, and then c5, and this pawn is usually under attack in these lines. Okay, let's make a move before I lose some time. Take. Now I'll definitely take this with the bishop because I need the queen closer to my king and for the defense and also to aim at this knight. Okay, he takes this one. If I take here, ef6, bishop f6, d6 hangs. It's also interesting, I have to say. Because now I lose the... Had I started with td4 here, then maybe it was more precise because then I would have this c5 idea, but okay. You live and learn. If I take knight a4 is probably what he'll play. And I can probably take here. If bishop takes knight c5. Okay, still a fight, but I prefer this over bc3. Let's take. Now we'll see if my strategical merits in the position are more important than my weakness with the king. So knight c5 was my idea. Queen d8, rook d8, knight b6, knight e4 looks okay. Knight c5 also looks okay. Hopefully I'm not blundering something stupid. I can do something else like queen a1. I can take, like this knight is a bad piece if I can take on e4. Maybe he should just take and move the king away. Yeah, he should take the queen or the knight. The knight first and then play king h1 and then he'll have ideas like bishop b5. It could be unconscionable here. Takes this one first. I can keep the queens on the board now, but it's kind of dangerous. Still, queen e7 could be good. Bishop c4 is the problem because it will be destroying this f7 square. Yeah, my bishop on a8 is now worse than his knight on a4. So he should probably take and go rook d7. Then I have no idea what to play, honestly. Oh, it just goes there. It's also fine. I cannot really stop this, I guess. Okay, I have to bring the bishop into play somehow. Even though I lose some pawns now. C6 is probably the right move. Then I can go rook c8 or something. Takes. Then I have weak kings, so... No, but here he has rook e6. Then I have to take this one. Which is really, really bad now. I have to fight for a draw. Probably unsuccessfully. Rook b5. Yeah, bishop f6 he includes first. For obvious reasons, but now I can go rook c8, right? Can probably survive there. Because rook b5, rook c... But rook c2... Yeah, he can still play for a win. He just does this one. Nah, then I have to go for this. Oh, why did I do that? That was a bad move. My king is really, really boxed in now. Okay, I have to play g5 and fight for a draw. Problem is he'll always have the g4 idea. Let's attack this pawn. I have not defended this in a good way. Okay, I lost this game. He deserved to win. Let's play a rematch. Even though Ante's rating is relatively low here, he's a very good blitz player. He's just not doing it a lot. Okay, let's go knight f3 here. c6. Let's play Rossolima here. See what he does against this. g6. I'll take. I'm not a specialist in 1e4. However, considering this is a training match and for the audience, I feel like you're relatively sick of seeing the same openings all the time. So yeah, I'll go a5. That, considering he has not played a5 or b6 himself, I'll go this a5 because now when he goes rook b8 b6 and I managed to take this. How did this line go? I don't remember. Knight to knight c4 looks logical, so I'll play that. Then my rook on the a file is going to be opened. Okay, f6. Now he wants to go here. How do I fight against this? Knight d4. Do I fight against it with f4? So knight h2 f4. Okay. I'll do I need to do something, so I think it's important to go f4 and break the structure before the knight comes to e6 and blocks all of this. Okay, Ante is thinking. I'm happy about that. His time management has been, I think, he was very often getting into time troubles in his career, so it's maybe the only downside of his play which I'm aware of, because he's really good both tactically and strategically. Also in endgames, but yeah, this his time management is probably the reason why he'd never reached like 2700 or close to there. He was 2650 at best, so really strong player, and you can definitely learn a lot from his games. Okay, f4 goes there. Now b3 makes a lot of sense, then I don't have to take I can take with the b pawn, open the b file. This will be a weakness in the future. However, there is also a downside, like take 6 f5 or f5 immediately. But honestly, I don't care too much. I'll give up this rook even, I think. The alternative was, of course, to take bishop c4, even take here, but taking here would allow bishop h4 and so on. Okay, now definitely need to take. He'll take here. Now after f5, I'm just gonna castle. I'll play all in. I feel like, well, when his king is here, that I should just sacrifice and play for the advantage. No, not for the advantage, for the initiative. Yeah, this is a good move. So if I go here, f5, it's probably going to be a problem. Can I make it work somehow? Probably not. I can castle, but like after this move, my dark squares are a huge problem. But I don't see other options at this point, at least not good ones. I've done something wrong in this game, I'm not sure what exactly. But then again, I'm not an e4 expert. So he doesn't take the bishop, which is very surprising to me. And then I won't give it away anymore. Yeah, 5. Now originally I wanted to take. Now when I look at it more closely, it looks more and more like a clean exchange up for him. Okay, then I have to make a move I really don't want to make. Now he solved all of his opening problems. He's probably winning objectively. Okay, he goes there. I mean, taking is really ugly, but what else can I do? Q1. Through Q1 takes. Q1, there's even Queen G5. Okay, I want to search for a counterplay somehow. This is too ugly to play, I think. There's also E3, but I'm gonna go King H1. No, E3 is actually the best move here. King H1, Knight D4, C3, E2, Queen D2. That's probably fine for me. Queen G5 first. I intended Queen G4 takes, and then E3 there is this. I'm sure I'm lost somehow. Let's see how. That's the task I'm leaving to him. Goes Queen G5, Queen G4. Don't see better options. Takes, E3, there is this, so okay, but this one can I take? No, there is Knight G5, so I cannot take. Knight E5. Probably Knight E5 is the correct move because I'm attacking stuff now. I can go H4, then I have to go back, but still he has problems to solve. I also have problems to solve, but I've been through worse in this game. Knight D4. I can take G6, which I prefer because I can take H4 later on. If I take this one, then Rook E8, I'll be pinned. So let's take this one. Goes Rook E8 anyway. Now I can take, right? Hopefully. B5, really. Okay, that one I should take. Knight F3 is ugly, but how else do I stop this? B5 is a very good move. He saw it in advance, of course. Now his rook is also extremely active. Should take, go Rook E3 probably. Because then Rook C1. Okay, he goes there, but now where do I go? Okay, let's go here. Bishop C3, Rook E2, I'm gonna go here and then I want to take the pawn. Okay. This might be winning now for me. Because the pawn is of the correct color. Just need to not give it up. Let's go D4, D5 now. I didn't deserve to win this game. But yeah, no, he's playing much better than me this far in this match. So definitely give Ante a follow and subscribe. Look, I'm really learning a lot. I'm not just saying this because he's a really good player. Okay, let's play Sicilian here. I'm not sure which Sicilian I'll play. Maybe let's play E6. This Sicilian I haven't played in some time. Knight F6. Goes Bishop D3. This is a sideline. This one is the main line. I'm gonna go Knight C6 now. Takes, and I actually like quite a lot this structure for white because I think you always have a minimal edge, and you're not risking anything. So this is just like a safe approach. You have ideas like this. I don't know where my pieces belong also. I'll play Bishop E7, but maybe Knight D7 is the correct move. Bishop E3, then I would go Knight D7 and then Bishop C5 to get rid of these bishops. And the way he's playing, I'm just gonna finish the development first, and then maybe Knight D7, Knight C5 or something similar. He played a game here against Alexei Serrano, strong GM on the European team, so he's familiar with this stuff. He knows what he's doing here. For example, if we go knight d7, he's going to go bishop c4, then take, and it could be a problem. Play queen c8 for that reason, which I'm not thrilled about. But when I go knight d7, he goes bishop c4. I wanted to say that I want to have some knight b6, but this hangs. And this is just a big problem. Bishop e5, he takes, I don't have any good move. So I messed up big time, I guess. It's not the first time, nor the last. And now I just could have gone queen c7 immediately and just get this structure. There's no need to go queen c8 if I wanted this. And I didn't want this, that's why I went queen c8. So yeah, he got a very, very pleasant position out to the opening. Now he needs to press on. Maybe I was supposed to go f6, knight c5, because now he maybe has some ideas, like queen g4, queen f5. Maybe I'll still need to go and f6, then there will be queen f6, queen e6. Okay, knight f6. Can I bail out somehow here? Knight f6, there is bishop e5. So knight f6, bishop e5. If I take here, takes knight g4 and pawn down. And if I take the queen, he takes here. I'm again a pawn down. So yeah, he's exploiting this nicely. I have no idea how to untangle, honestly. He also has f4 ideas. Like, I really messed up completely in this game. Completely. Okay, I'm sure this is lost or not lost maybe, but it's quite bad, I think. I don't see a better move, because he's just gonna go rook d1. His play is so simple. That's why I like this line for white, actually. This bishop d3 stuff. It's very, very simple play and no risk. When you're playing against Ante, you're always, especially with black, his white repertoire is really, really good. Yeah, this one I intended here. Queen e6, I still have this, and then at least knight f8 to kick the queen. But of course there are different problems, like knight e3, knight f5 could be one of the problems. And okay, he needs to find a good way to continue here, but if he manages to do so, I'm probably objectively close to lost. Still, let's see, knight e3. On his YouTube channel, Ante is sometimes playing, like he has some title Tuesday Arena King streams. He recently started playing Blitz online a lot. Also, he has some other content, like analyzing top players' games, which is definitely always useful for everyone, including myself, to watch. Okay, I'll go knight c5 now. He wants to bring the rook into the attack, which makes a lot of sense. And now probably I need to go rook f7. I can go some b4, but I'm not sure I believe in that. After knight a4. Yeah, this one, now his rook could get stuck. Because now I can go, for example, queen d7. Goes there. Now I feel like I've been through worse. If I go knight to6, knight to 4, he also has a problem or two to deal with now. I don't know how his bishop e5, take, knight e5, king, probably e8, probably knight d7, rook d7. I feel like my pieces have potential there. Okay, here if I go knight f4, and there is bishop c1. Knight g5. Then he can take rook g5, fg5, queen f7, and things are not looking well. Okay, then I'm just gonna block this and try to go here next. He'll go here. Like this f5 square for the knight is going to be a huge problem, and without these bishops I would probably be better, but with these bishops, his bishop can control the knight, my knight, and my bishop cannot control his knight. It's just gonna go to f5. Of course, after bishop c1 there is also knight d4, which needs to take into account. It's not that easy. I didn't like that rook d3 move. I think he could have done something better there in that moment. This is why he goes c3, to be able to do all of this. Now I can go to c5 with the knight, or to g5. Go to g5, queen e2. Okay, I'm low on time, so I need to make a move. There. Okay, let's try to bail out tactically. I'm not sure if it works, but queen d3, knight d3 I'll take, and bc5 I'll take this one. Without the knight, at least nothing is coming to f5. Okay, now nothing is coming to f5. Now I'm happier than I used to be. Let's go here. Problem is something can come to h7. Can still fight. Because my position is relatively solid now. I go queen f7. Let's go rook d1. I'm still passive, but what's the draw? Do I want to draw? Probably I do. Feel in danger. Could go continue with king d8, but yeah. Okay, interesting game. Let's keep going. Play d4. He definitely outplayed me. He outplayed me in every game thus far. Okay, it's time to start playing my own openings. You guys will forgive me. Now this is the boring stuff I usually play in my matches. But okay, he plays the Bogo-Indian, so it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that boring. Bishop e2, this sideline exists. I've lost a very bad game against Rasmus Svane 8 years ago in this sideline. Early e5, I think I've seen this in the game Warmerdam against Elina Rogas in Tata Steel, but I never took the time to look at it. Usually they go knight fd7 and d5. Ante is always he's always familiar with all of these rare ideas. He's following all of these games. Okay, now maybe we can transpose to what I know. If I go queen c2, then knight b1, knight c3, because the knight in d2 is extremely stupid. It belongs here, and I will definitely try to make it better. Okay, he puts the knight here, which makes sense. Now without this, usually the idea of this is the quick bishop f6, but now I'll have knight d5. Okay, a4 could be an idea. I'm not sure if he wants to do that. So knight e4 could be a problem. Let's say b3, knight e4, knight e4 takes, queen e4 here. Queen d3, take, rook e2. Should be 2. I do have some counterplay, but I don't like it. I don't want to play bishop f3. I want to play rook e1, bishop f1. Rook e1, knight e4 is not a problem. Okay, let's go here. I'll do what I want to do. It could backfire though, because later, if I don't, maybe I won't be able to get in bishop e3 because of knight g4. That's the advantage of f3, but f3 weakens the light squares. Weakens the dark squares, sorry. Some d5 I need to consider whenever I'm not pinned. Whenever I'm pinned, sorry. Yeah, bishop g5, maybe I should play then, because... Okay, now f3 is better than before, of course, because my pieces are better placed. So maybe f3, bishop e3 is one plan. I could also try b3, bishop b2. The bishop should be best placed here, actually. This is where it belongs. Bishops are usually best on long diagonals in open positions. It's some rule of thumb there. So if he doesn't have anything concrete, but maybe he can go c6 here and d5, and then I'm not in time with this. So if c6, maybe I should develop the bishop somewhere there. But c6 is again a confession in a way that d6 becomes weakened after rook d1. There might be a problem. So I can do this now. Or I can go bishop g5, rook d1 for a quick development. Bishop g5, h6. If I take this hangs, so I have to go to h4. g5, knight h5. This I don't like because this bishop feels extremely important. b3, bishop g7, bishop b2. Take doesn't work because when I take, this is covered by my bishop. Okay. I need to do something. Let's go bishop b2. Now I definitely want to go rook d1, and the whole point of white's play here, okay, he goes c6, is that now in the future I should have some long-term advantage because of more space. b4 is tempting because if I go rook d1 and he goes here, then I'm gonna have problems with this pawn, so I feel like I have to go b4. Take. Now I need to take with the bishop because otherwise this hangs. Knight e6 is probably what he'll play. Knight e6 is also possible. It's very difficult to outplay Ante. He's a very classical player. He always chooses the lines with strategical prospects. He doesn't go for some tactical stuff where you can lose. Okay, I should probably take this, but also knight b3 I feel like I'm putting the knight on the wrong side of the board and that he might get something, but if I trade it, it probably favors him. Because when you have less space like he has now, every piece exchange helps. They go c5 or what? I mean, I'm not a fan of this move, but if I don't do this, then he'll play queen b6, knight g4 ideas are in the air. Knight g4 is still in the air. It could be dangerous, like h3 and so on. d5 is more like Ante move, like classical move, just making sure he's not worse. Making sure he's not worse and just having this position. Yeah, his no risk approach is also very, very efficient sometimes. Now it's just relatively equal. I can go f6, queen e5 also. I can claim that I have something because these pawns are colored in his bishop color. But objectively it's just nothing. Queen e5 solves all the problems instantly, I think. I don't think he can play for a win, also have no real weaknesses, not much he can do there. Okay, he wants to play on. Wants to go queen queen a2. I'll stop that. I'll just go here and we'll go king f2. Okay, he is keeping an eye on my h2 pawn. I don't want to go g3, but I'll go g3 anyway. King f2, bishop e2 should be totally fine. Can I play this for a win because of this? I can try. f4, I definitely need to get rid of this weakness. King d4. I'll go b5, b6. I'm not risking anything, and this pawn, like whenever you push this, your opponent has to be thinking about this pawn. And now, okay, I'll take this now for sure, because here he allows my king to go through, and if he takes with the h pawn, now I get a passed pawn, which could be very, very good. Okay, now it's time to bring the king closer. His pawns are targets, and my pawns are not targets. And every pawn endgame should be winning after bishop f5 and so on. Because I have a distant passed pawn. Okay, I'll go here. Bring the king closer. I have to push h5 at some point. Now I want h6. Let's go here. If he moves the bishop, I can still take. It's probably Zugzwang now. Has to let me go either here or here. Let's block this king. And I first want the bishop on c8, and then I want to go here. And now it's time finally to cash in here. Start taking stuff. Okay, the endgame can be instructive. I was lucky in that game. It should have ended in a draw. If he would just went queen e5, it would be a quick draw. But yeah, the endgame can be instructive because you see this no risk play and this pawn on b6, how big of a potential it has. Sorry. I'll play the French this game. Let's switch to some other openings. Let's play the Winawer, my first love. First love is calling me. That's a song title in Croatian. One I'm fond of. Let's go c5 here. Okay, he goes a3. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna knight e7. There's also that trendy line with knight e6. But in this game, I'm just gonna play the old line. He goes a4. Maybe I've told him once, or he's seen on the stream, that this is the line which I hate facing the most, so that's why he's playing it against me. Because this is just, usually when you go for queen g4, and these kind of ideas, then it's a very sharp tactical stuff, which I enjoy a lot, and when you play this stuff, then it's a more of a strategical fight. She's just trying to exploit the dark squares here, and the weaknesses of my dark squares, either with the bishop here or with bishop on d2 and the queen here. So I'll go queen a5. I feel like he's mixing the plans a bit, honestly, with this h4. Can I go f6? Probably h4 is theory he's aware of, knowing him. But okay, let's see. It's definitely a fight. In the Winawer, it's always a fight. Even if your opponent knows theory and you don't, it's still a fight. It's never a clear win. Usually bishop b5 is one of the strategical ideas. Here, just to eliminate this knight and this bishop, because very often in the structures, if you put the bishop here or here, black goes c4, and this bishop is a bit trapped here. It's not such a bad piece, but it's a bit locked, and if you go here and then c4, then it doesn't exist, and you only have this good bishop, which can always cause many problems. So that's why bishop b5 is often the idea. Alternatively, he can go for some sharp stuff like c4, which he does, and there are some classical games, for example, by Michal Tal, which featured this. And now both captures are possible, ed or knight d in these structures. There is some famous game, I think Croatian Tal or something, where they went knight d5 here, knight e7, take d c5. It's without h4. He has bishop e2, I think. But I'll stick with that. I'll just take with the knight and see where it leads me. Because when he goes here, then his structure is a bit overloaded. I think you always want to go back. Because now his structure is falling apart. The center is falling apart, that big center which white has. That's surely a plus. However, his bishops are also opening up. So it could also backfire. And this dc5, then long castles is the idea, and then you go e5 and you try to go some bishop e6, rook g8 and tactically attack. Because considering he has this h4, short castles is more dangerous than without this, because g3 is not so easy to get. Apparently he doesn't like it. I can't blame him. He goes for this one. So the obvious solution is to take twice on d5, and it's probably very good. Alternatively, I can go knight e5. But knight e5, okay, there's bishop f4, there's also bishop c3. Like, d6 is the only thing that doesn't work because of takes and check, and then a8 hangs. Is there a problem with this? Because this opens up this bishop, which I'm also not thrilled about. I need to make some kind of a concession. Okay, I'll take for a start. Knight e5, bishop c3. The problem is that he's threatening d6. So I had to take. I'm not sure I like it. Because of what he's doing, of course. Go back. So I'm not sure about that move. I definitely have to long castle as soon as possible. Because my king here is going to get exterminated otherwise. Short castles feels a bit slow. However, maybe it's not, because at least now I don't have rook g8. So this bishop controls the square. Time up pawn up. Bishop g4 could be an annoying move for him because of this pin. I'll try to count on that. Queen c1, this is what I expected because he wants to go bishop f4. Now, probably I should go here. It's not so much about blocking bishop f4, he can go h5, but I'll block it like this, with this knight. Okay, bishop d5. Now what? c5 hangs. Okay, let's do something for the audience. I'm completely unsure about this, but I'll sack the exchange and go rook d8 and then bishop f3. If it doesn't work, okay, maybe I have an easier solution actually. I don't even see it, but maybe I can take here. If bishop takes, I can take on d2. And if g takes, then maybe I can go queen e5. Yeah, I like this. I like this now. Bishop b4. I'll go rook e8, bringing my last inactive piece into play. That's usually good. Ah, but I forgot about this. This is annoying. Let's go here. Goes knight h2. Should have included knight d4 to threaten here. Didn't see it immediately. Okay, now I'll do it, I guess. I still want to go here. The bishop hangs. Okay, let's go here. I might lose on time this game. I have 2 seconds increment, not 1 second. Okay, I want to protect my position a bit. Okay, what I've done is many things, but protecting not one of them. Okay, I'll try to take and go here now. Eliminate the rooks. Okay, I'll go here. I want to eliminate the queens as well. I feel like that would help me. Okay, I want to get really rid of this pawn. I can take this one now, which is actually a big problem. Let's go knight d4. I might get checkmated here. Wouldn't be surprised. I'm just lost. What do I do? He wants to play for a win. I almost lost some time there. Okay, now at least I should not get checkmated, right? Let's see if he has some idea to win, or he's just gonna repeat. Because I mean, he should try to play for a win, but I don't know how. Bishop e3, there is this. Okay, it just makes a draw. What a horrible game, chat. What a horrible game. I mean, I outplayed him there, but... Okay, let's go knight f3. A move which I've said I'll never play again in classical games. In the video which is on my... the video on my channel, I've said I'll never play this move again, and ever since I haven't played it. Not even in blitz, and much less over the board. I'll try to play some kind of a reverse King's Indian setup with e4 here. And then knight d2 or something. Goes d5, then I'll go knight d2 and d4. e6, I'll go e4. Now we have the King's Indian attack, which is fine. He has this setup with knight g7 and bishop g7, which is one of the possibilities. Against this one, it's better to go c3. Then you want to go e5 sooner or later. Also, inclusion of h4 is usually useful. And black, usually they take at some point, they go b6, bishop b7, and so on. Okay, he takes immediately. Or he goes e5. This is also a possibility. Now, this has its merits, but it also has its drawbacks. The drawbacks are these, the weakening of d square. Okay, so they go knight c4, or they keep the queens somehow. I mean, if we go queen c2, he'll go h6, knight c4, bishop b6, something like that. Let's go knight c4 immediately then. Bishop e6, and now bishop f1 is a move. Knight d6 I don't believe in, even though it attacks here. I think that knight is closer to get trapped than to cause some damage to my opponent. Okay, I'll go here. I want to go knight g5 if I can. He'll probably stop that with h6 quite quickly. Knowing him, this is a move he'll make. But then my idea is to go here and bishop c4. If I can get rid of this bishop, which is not ideal, that could be good. These structures are always fine for black objectively, but still the board is full of pieces and there's always a big fight ahead, so why not? Why not to play this? Sometimes also he has bad pieces. This piece is not ideal, the bishop is not ideal. This knight is also relatively restricted. There are strategical prospects there. Knight a5 makes a lot of sense. Just fighting against my idea. So the knight on f3. What do I do with that? Go to d2 and then to c4. And go b3 maybe. I don't see. Why would I go b3? Knight c4. Then I mean this knight I feel like is my worst placed piece. I feel like it needs to be somewhere else because it's not going there anymore. e5 is too well protected. So let's bring it to c4. Usually, like ideally, I want to exchange these two pieces for these two pieces, because then what's left behind is this restricted knight and the bishop, which is here. This is my dream scenario. So let's see which percentage of that dream scenario can come true. Yeah, this knight c4, rook there, but now when if I go queen a4 or queen c2, not sure where I should go. I can just go to c6, right? And then, for example, queen a4, knight c6. His idea will be to go a6, b5, and I don't know what I'll do with this knight. So for that reason, maybe I want to go to f3, and I have a concrete reason. If he goes here, which is probably what he'll do, because if he trades, then, well, my bishop comes to play with the tempo and so on. Maybe it's also fine. Take, go b5, knight e3 back, and so on. Knight c6, I want to go knight g4, because then I attack h6, and I want to go knight f6. And also after b5, I'll have the square for the other knight. So maybe he can play some f5 because I've put my queen here. But then I'll take this one. Maybe I can take here and then b7, but that's quite dangerous. Okay, he does this, but now I'm happy with my position. Because now I'm achieving what I want to achieve strategically. These two pieces. Okay. I still need to develop. But first... Okay. Is f5 a problem? I don't think it's a problem. First things first, let's stop b5. Take. Queen e6. Okay, he just plays more solid way. I'll go b3, protect stuff. And now I want to just go probably bishop b3, exchange the rooks maybe, because I don't need the rook on d1, on e1, that's for sure. He can take with the queen. Yeah, it's not supposed to play like this. Okay, I'll do this, and after queen e6 I can still go rook d1. Takes, queen takes. And I still think I have this positional pressing. It's similar like he had in that second or third game, I'm not sure, because of the better pieces. Okay. How do I make progress with this though? Let's go f3 for a start. Yeah, f4. Now he's hoping that I'll open up his bishop. Not a chance, Ante. You're not getting that. And now I want to go g4, h3. If I manage to do that, I feel like my king is going to be quite safe. And I'm surprised he didn't take fg3, honestly. Okay, if I go here, b5. Take. I think I should go here. Ah, but he has this one. Okay, I still have pressure. I don't know how big. I should have gone knight b2, knight d3, I think. Now when I look at it. Okay. Now I have to go here, knight c6, bishop c5. Still, like, again, it's about this bishop. Ah, but he has this one. Okay. Make a stupid move and just bring the king closer. If he manages to get rid of that bishop, it's probably just a draw. Then I won't let him get rid of the bishop. We'll try to bring the king to c4. Which probably cannot achieve. Now let's kick this knight away. It is really annoying. And now he again managed to do this. Yeah. Now bishop c5, maybe he can even play for a win. It's a big problem. Because my knight is so stupid. Knight c5, okay, he still doesn't have access with his king. Is it just gaining time now? I think I can hold, but yeah, what I did out of that better endgame, what I managed to do, this is like really... It's really sad. Okay, ends in a draw. Well, I think this is going to be the last game, so let's make the most of it. I'll play a caro this time. He's an e4 player. I'll remove the caro. Very curious to see what he'll do. Okay, I've tried the Sicilian, I've tried the French, I tried the Philidor, I tried the caro. Thus far, the French worked best against him. Knight f6. Let's see if he'll go for... Yeah, he'll go for bishop f4. I'll play a sideline g6. This is not a the most principled line, but it has a strategical point because you want to go bishop f5 and get rid of this bishop and exchange it for a bishop, and not like in the main line you go bishop g4, you exchange it for a knight. The downside is that this bishop doesn't really belong on g7. Okay, knight d2 here. He goes for the early knight d5. Oof, I think a long time ago somebody played this against me. Maybe Shuvalov or someone. Don't remember. Okay, I'll go rook g8. Usually you don't want a castle with either white or black if gf5 is played. Or sometimes if you castle with white, then the idea is to go knight d3, f3, g4. But that also only works if black castled as well. Considering I'm playing without castles, I'm not sure about the knight c6 idea. Okay, here I'll get bishop d6 because I think my king can be quite safe on e7. King e7 is the obvious move. Yeah, and also I can bring the king there. f4 I don't think I want to play because then I'm just gonna open up his rook. It's not coming to my consideration. e5 could be a good move, just so I have a4 after this. I'll do that. First of all, I'm stopping queen a6. Secondly, after knight b3, also this pawn is going to be weaker now. If he goes a4, for example, to stop it, then this pawn is weaker than, for example, if I allowed him to go b4 and then put the knight on b3 and here. Knight f3. Okay, when the knight comes to e5, I'll kick it out. So you don't have to do anything yet, as far as I understand. So I can go a4. Similar idea, similar reason, fixing this weakness. But yeah, my king could be a problem still. I'll go here. His knight is best placed on d3. Every time you have a Carlsbad structure, your knight is best placed on d3 or on d6 with black. So yeah, does my king belong here or do I run away here? And what's my plan? Is queen h5 a problem? Probably not if I go king f8. Okay, I'll try to bring my king's sour safe. Because still I don't have weaknesses, so on. Like the king position is the only weakness. I don't think I have such a bad position. I still prefer white a bit. It's not that much. I can live with this, especially considering how some of the other games went. Okay, now I can maybe go here and h5, try to attack. But this is very dangerous. So if I don't attack, what do I do? I can go king g7. Tricky decision. This allows queen e5 also. Okay, let's bring the king to safety. Then I'll see. Maybe later I can just try to attack. Okay, queen h5. It's not a comfortable move to face, I have to admit, because I cannot go king h8 anymore, and knight f6 I cannot go also. Maybe I should play h6 for that reason. Because now after this I can finally go knight f6. I can go queen h4 still, but I can go queen d8 or something. My king is a bit exposed, but he doesn't have pieces to attack it with. Yeah, now he's making a prophylactic move, hoping that I'll go here, and then he can go knight e5 with a tempo. But still, I have to get rid of that queen. It's really annoying. Like knight e5 shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Can just go knight d7. Then I'll include the last piece into play. The rook on g8, considering I'm not gonna attack here anymore. Yeah, this is just what I understood just now. That I allowed this stuff with f3, and it could be like I cannot really exploit this knight's position, and I needed the rook here actually. So he'll go g4. This is that typical idea which I mentioned at the beginning of the line, g4. Yeah. I don't know how to fight against this. We'll go knight h7, g4, f4. I don't like it, but I have to do this before I lose in time, or do something before I lose in time. He just makes a prophylactic move. Yeah, that's like Ante. I want to kick the queen away. Now it's at least further away from my king. Let's go away. This knight on d3 protects here. It has so much attacking potential. Like I won some games with white because of this plan and this structure. And when I'm black, it's so uncomfortable to face against this. Knight e5, multiple threats. Let's create a threat of my own. I can get c5 in a good way. Yeah. He is after revenge. Ante is after revenge. Okay, I'll protect stuff. Cannot really get rid of his pieces in any decent way. Okay, I'll go here, trying to go here, not immediately. Then I have to go king h7 first. Another problem. g4, this I cannot do. Another problem. My position is full of problems. Okay, now I'll go knight g6 at least. Knight g4, I can go queen g7 always. Tactical ideas also need to always consider. Okay, I have to destroy this knight. This is a necessity. He'll go g5, right? Take like this. I'm very slow somehow. Should have gone to g7 as well. Okay, I'll close this stuff now. If I can go rook g8 and king there, I'm very happy. I mean, very happy is maybe too much, but happy is fine because the king. If the king goes to g6, okay, I'll take. Maybe he had g6 in some moment. Okay, I'll go here. Create some pressure. Oh, I don't like the queen trade from him. Now my rook is going to be more active than his rook. f4 I'll go. I think it's important to bring the king closer. Okay, now it's time to activate the rook, I think. Go for these pawns. If I can. Is there a way to play for a win here? Could be. His position is very passive. My d4 pawn could be a nuisance for him. Because my a pawn covers these two pawns very nicely. Now I can bring the king closer, maybe. He's a bit stuck now. It's just very important that I don't allow... Oh, the rook trade? Isn't this lost? Okay, let's see. Taking here. Okay, I'll just take the pawn. I don't even think I need to trade the rooks. I think it's winning, but I also think there's zero need for this because his position is so passive. He just cannot really do much. Okay, I didn't deserve to win this game. I was lost strategically. He outplayed me in most of the games in this match, but somehow in the end games I got the better of him. I don't know why. Anyway, thanks to Ante for the match. It was very fun. Again, big shout out to him. I'm one of his first followers, maybe the first, I don't know. So give your support to him. Subscribe on the link below the video to his channel. You'll learn a lot, even if it's just English subtitles. You can learn a lot. You see that he's a very good player. He outplayed me in more games than I outplayed him. So yeah, thanks again for watching this video. Hope you learned something. Wish everyone a great rest of your day. Thanks again. Bye.